And we are live. What's good, Josh? Your man, BL Saint. Welcome. I really want to know podcast. What's happening? Y'all? Happy Hump Day. It's Wednesday. Sorry, I couldn't make it yesterday, guys. Hit a time crunch. I was running around, had stuff to do, and it got to the point where I just couldn't get the pod done. I had to go and set up the club for um the comedy night, and I just had to go take care of that. So my bad. I apologize. I did think about maybe doing a real late stream, but I didn't get back until 12:30, 1 in the morning, something like that. And I mean, it would have been cool for the West Coast in Australia, but it'd have been a wrap for anybody on the East Coast, because most of us would have been asleep. Most of us would have been knocked out. So I didn't do that. But show went well. If anybody's wondering, like, the show went well. If you're ever in Tampa on a Tuesday, come check us out. Comedy Arc at Status. And we're making it happen. We're bringing in some of the best talent in the stand-up world in Tampa, in Central Florida. We're reaching out to people in Miami. I mean, I'm reaching out to folks on the West Coast, out in LA. I got talking to people in Vegas, New York, just trying to make it happen. I mean, it's fun. I ain't gonna lie to you. The only thing we have to do is just keep pushing forward. Once we get our crowd established, we're gonna be money. Right now, we're established with the comics here, and luckily I've been in the business a long time, so I know a lot of people who are able to help me out. So we're bringing in the best talent in the area. It's just a matter of getting the word out and people showing up. But I can't say this consistently. We've been doing this for 3 weeks now, and every week the crowd is getting a little bit bigger. It's 4 or 5 more people show up every week. New faces show up every week, and everyone leaves pretty happy. They enjoy the show. So we're just gonna keep doing what we are doing, make this happen. So I had to, I don't know. I think on Tuesdays, what I'm gonna start doing is just maybe I'll do a midday show or something like that, or maybe I'll just pre-record the show and then just put it up there. I'll put tags on the screen, so like, hey, this is pre-recorded, so people know. They're like, yo, how come he's not reacting to me? How come he's not posting my stuff? It'll be because I'm not there. So I'm going to figure something out for Tuesday, and then we're just going to keep it pushing. I might even have a young lady that will be coming to join me on the pod for a couple episodes and just kind of talk about the other side of this. Because, we always talk about this from the male perspective. I found a hard working, beautiful young woman. She works with us. She's one of our bartenders. And we may be able to get her on the pod. She said, yeah, she wants to do it. So we'll see. Y'all know how that goes. But she's really cool. And then I'll also take the camera with me. I'll take a camera with me when I go set up. So when we're there, we'll be able to just kind of do some impromptu stuff while we're just killing time, wait for the show to get started. Some behind the scenes footage, which I think would be pretty good. So we're gonna figure this out. But yeah, if I can get her on the pod, I don't think she's aware of like the manosphere or red pill stuff. I don't think she's aware of the the whole feminism versus manosphere kind of thing. You know what I mean? So misandrous versus what is it? Misandry and misogyny. Sorry, I had to think it through. So I don't think she's aware of the whole misogyny, misandry thing. And it'd be kind of good to kind of introduce her to this world, show her some stuff, and kind of get her, raw reaction to all this. We talked a little bit yesterday, and I was like, yo, what's it like out here dating and stuff like that? And she just shook her head. I'm like, oh, okay, don't say nothing. We'll save it for the pod. I think it'll be some real good content there to talk to her and get things and then get it going. And that'll also help with I think that'll help with subscribers. The manosphere dudes, man, they love it. There's a young pretty girl sitting there, they tend to show up to those shows, right? It is what it is, y'all. It is what it is. So yeah, we're gonna talk about married single moms. Yo, what the hell is that? And we are live. What's good, y'all? Welcome to the I Really Want to Know podcast, y'all. Get some indeed, man. Yo, I know people been asking me about Shushu. Like, yo, what's up with Shushu? How come she hasn't been on? She's been busy, y'all. She is been real busy. I've been kind of busy, but she's like been really busy. She's working on another project. I need to give her a call too. She sent me some Shu. If you're watching this, I saw the edit. It's fire. As a matter of fact, let me send a text real quick because I forgot to tell her. She sent me an edit. And I saw it. I'm like, yo, for something that she's working on. I was very impressed. Her skills are just getting better by the day, y'all. By the day. So shout out to Shushu, wherever you at, sis. Shout out to you. I know you working hard. Yeah, like let me send it right now. I mean, I love it when people send me stuff like they ask my opinion on stuff, especially like entertainment stuff like movies. Some people will send me scripts like, hey man, read the script, let me know what you think. I could give them notes and stuff like that. you know Rarely when someone sends me a version of something, some sort of cut or whatever, it's rare that I don't have any notes. And I looked at it, I was like, yo, like she sent me this cut, I'm like, yo, that's fire. And I know she's still working on it, but I'm just kind of like, wow, she's good. She's good. It's a Don DeMarco for Sister Shushu, but we will get it back on here. We will get it back on here. We'll figure it out. And for me, I spend a lot of time now going out looking, checking out comics. I'll go around town to different open mics. I'll go around to different, clubs or bars or whatever. When people are performing, I go check them out. That's just the way I love to do it. A lot of folks just like, well, just look at their stuff on social media. Social media is a highlight reel. I don't want to see the best of. I want to see what you do on a daily. I want to see how you act when there's only 2 or 3 people in the room. And do you still go up there and give 100%, or do you phone it in, or do you just absolutely walk away? I want to see how hard you are and how committed you are to the art form. So I need to see you. So that's what I've been doing. Thursday nights I'm out there. Of course, Tuesday nights I'm out there. Saturday, Sunday I'm out there, and I gotta stay on that. So it keeps me busy. So it keeps me from being able to reach out and take care of other things. It's just a matter of, as you add on to your workload, it's just a matter of time before you can sort it all out and get back to your other things. When something comes up, you got to take care of that. Then once you get it down to whatever your network is or whatever your flow is, you can move on to the next thing. So that's what we're doing right now. I'm just trying to figure out the comedy stuff. Recruiting comics and promoting the show itself. I mean, it's, you talk about wearing different hats. Like right now I'm wearing about 4 or 5 hats getting this off the ground. And my partner, he's wearing another 4 or 5 hats. And we're, doing what we got to do to make this happen. But I can't say we are ahead of the curve. I'm always reassuring him. I'm like, bro, we're doing really well. Like we're 3 weeks in officially. We're doing well. Like, and he's kind of like, okay. And we got all these other things. So don't be afraid to team up, y'all. Don't be afraid to click up with people when you're out here trying to, do something, whatever it is. Don't take it all on yourself. If you can get competent people who are passionate about what y'all doing and work with them. Especially if y'all can work together. You know what I mean? When people click, it's like a beautiful thing. So yeah, that's what's up. We're gonna get Shushu back. We talk about what she's got going on, and I think it'll be fun. This would have been a good conversation to have her jump in on right now, to be honest with you, man. This whole this married single mom thing. It's crazy. Brother Dino, what's good, fam? Where is my cursor? Here it is. Brother Dinosaurs in the building. What's good, man? They're like, did you watch the hosting of the Golden Globes? No, I did not. I have not watched that yet. I will get to it eventually. There are clips out there, I would imagine. But I ain't gonna lie to you, man. When it comes to the Golden Globes, the American Music Awards, the Oscars, the Grammys, well, not necessarily the Grammys, that's kind of different, but like the Oscars, the Golden Globes, Screen Actors Guild, that sort of thing, who they have people host, man, that thing's been going down here for so long because, comics don't want to deal with it. You look at someone like Joe Toy, they brought him in at the last moment. I mean, and it's like, well, why did they bring him in at such the last moment? Because the other comics are probably like, nah, we don't want to do it. We don't want to do it. We're not going to come up here and do dry jokes or whatever. Then you bring someone up there, you don't really give them ample time to kind of prepare what they're going to do on that stage. I think it's gonna go bad. You know what I mean? Like, eh, he's a funny dude, but he's in a niche, right? He's in a, you know what I'm saying? Like he's in a small subgroup within a subgroup. And then they kind of put him on center stage and okay, do your thing. It might not translate well. And apparently it didn't. I was talking to my buddy Ty Barnett about it. Maybe we'll get Ty on here, we'll talk about it, and then try to find some clips. But it is what it is. I haven't watched it yet. I will get around to it. But I ain't gonna lie to you, that's not high on my priority list right now. But it is on the list. It's just it's down there a little bit. I'm gonna check it out. And it's just you hate when you see great comics and these hardworking comics, they get a break like this and it doesn't go their way necessarily. But the way it works in Hollywood, I'm pretty sure he's made a friend. The thing is, when you do those type shows, man, who's gonna try to cancel you? Whose toes did you step on? You know, who had a problem with your material? A lot of that stuff has to be okay by the network. So you got to give them all your material before you air, so they know what you're gonna do. You can't deviate from what they okayed, which is tough for a comic because I can give you my routine, like, okay, I'm gonna do 30 minutes. Here's every joke I'm gonna do, but I might get on stage and 10 minutes before I walked on stage, I might see something and I'm gonna talk about that. Well, you can't do that if you're doing the Oscars or you're doing the Screen Actors Guild or whatever. If you're doing one of these type shows, you can't do that. And that stifles your ability to be funny, which is why they're bringing you in. You would think we're bringing you in to be funny. So, yeah, man, a lot of comics haven't really came down hard on him at all, because we understand it. But mainstream America, like, is this gonna mess him up? Like, because he didn't do as well as they had hoped, air quotes. Did that stop maybe a potential deal? Like, oh, we were looking at you to do this, this TV show. We're going to develop this thing behind you, but now we're not gonna. I mean, is that, did that happen? If so, that sucks. Did that make his base mad or whatever? I doubt it. But these are the questions that I ask. Brother Pitney's in the building. What's good, fam? Like, how's it going, Uncle DL? Just reminding the audience to like the video. Please do. Yeah, please like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Leave comments. I appreciate y'all. Like I said, we're slowly growing. We're going in the right direction, y'all. We're going in the right direction. I'm still trying to figure out how often to post the shorts, because the shorts are, really getting people to come in and find that people are liking the shorts, man. It's getting pushed pretty good. So I'll probably put out another batch of shorts over the next couple of days. I'm kind of going over videos. And behind the wall, on YouTube, a lot of my stuff is like being not demonetized, but ineligible for monetization. And that's they got copyright or something like that. Not a copyright strike, but a copyright claim or whatever. Okay, that's cool. Some people are like, it's cool, you can share the revenue. Some of the content YouTube will hit as not suitable. So, that's gonna kind of suppress it a little bit in the algo, whatever. So, but the shorts seem to be pretty good. So I'm gonna keep looking at this stuff and trying to find that safe lane I can kind of jump in. Still want to figure out how to edit. I'm still working on that as well. It's just, again, that's not how my priority list. I want to get it up there, but editing takes time. You talk about hours just sitting there moving stuff around and all that. So, but I definitely want to get to that. And maybe we'll have more success with the edited stuff. I can put up stuff and maybe it'll be more successful there with just, editing in different clips and this and that. We'll see. I plan on doing that. Hopefully by quarter two, by the end of quarter two, for sure, I'll be, at least putting up one a week. That would be nice if I could do one a week. We'll see. Editing ain't no joke, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. It's definitely a skill set. You must be patient when you edit. So yeah, man. But yeah, please, please like, subscribe, share, comment, all that good stuff. We're gonna continue to do what we're doing. I think we're on track. I know I'm having fun, and y'all keep showing up. So y'all having fun too, man. I appreciate each and every one of my day ones out there just making it happen. Brother Dino, it's like 10 minutes of dead man walking. Ooh, is it that bad, bro? That's and the guy's funny. He's so funny, man. Like you hate, and again, that comes from being overly restricted and not able to do what you do. And when that happens, you're not going to be able to just come alive and just make people laugh. You just stuck. And again, this is why it's going to be, my take on this is going to be harder and harder moving forward, to get comics to want to go do those shows. And it's like they suffer in the ratings anyway. I mean, it's not like Will Smith's gonna get to go smack somebody every year. So it it hurts. Like, what am I trying to say here? Especially the Oscars. You know, you're looking at the Oscars and the Golden Globes. They've been hurting in the ratings forever, and I don't see that getting any better. They're too stuffy. You know what I mean? It's a room full of the Hollywood elites, kind of patting each other on the back, whatever. They do not relate at all with mainstream America, especially the stuff that they say. And it's all one sided. So you only get one side of it, right? You get the more liberal side of it. The people, the Hollywood elites who are conservative, they tend to keep their mouth shut. They won't say anything. So because they don't want to mess up their money moving forward. So it is what it is. It is what it is. And then as far as getting comics to come do it, the best comics in the game already are saying no. Like, no, we're not going to do that. You know, it's only certain people who want to go do it. And then there's only so many people who are funny at that level. So, I mean, they've only hurt themselves. Maybe they'll come away from that host format and do something else, or maybe have other entertainers just come out and host and just stay away from the comedians. And if that happens, I think that's more the comedians staying away from them. But hey, man, it is what it is. You know, Brother Benny, like he's like, if you're on a Mac, you need Final Cut Pro. I'm not on a Mac. I'm not on a Mac, man. Just PC. But there's tons of. I was using Filmora and it works pretty good. There are tons, like Final Cut's a good one. They have it for Mac and PC. I'm just out there looking. I'll probably start with something that's, that's free. You know what I mean? Because what I'm doing, I don't need a lot of bells and whistles. And I'm gonna go research it again. Filmora was great, but the upsell, man, like I bought the pay version and it was just the upsell, and it got to a point where you couldn't even maneuver within the program on the platform without them trying to upsell you this and upsell you that. It was disgusting, man. It was like, I just canceled. You know what? I don't know. And then they just, oh, why did you cancel? Oh, we can offer you this. We can offer, like, nah, man, stay away from me. Sometimes you just want what you want. I just wanted a basic editing tool that I can go in here and do what I needed to do. And I put together a list. I think I had like 6 or 8 options, and I went with Filmora. But I'm gonna go dig that list up, and I'm gonna go with one of the other ones. There's tons of options out there. So we'll see, bro. But I appreciate that, man. Thanks a lot. Appreciate that. So let's get into this, man. Let's get into this. Married single mom. Like, for real, what is this, man? Adobe Premiere. Yeah, that was on my list. Adobe Premiere. I'm gonna look at that now. Maybe I'll go with that then. Appreciate that, bro. Yeah, because that was definitely on my list. I remember that one. But this whole married single mom thing, I don't know if you guys have heard about this. I didn't. I was just in the car waiting on my daughter, and I was kind of going through news feeds, and I landed on this New York Post article, and I was like, man, what the hell is this? So married single moms, man. So let's get into this, bro. Let's pull this up. I found a couple of articles. This particular article here, well, here we go. This is out of Parents. This is from last year, May, I believe, May of 2023, and this article was talking about this thing. I never heard of it. What is a married single mom? Right, and it's like married single mom is a buzzy new trend term on social media, but what does it mean, and is it even appropriate? So I thought this was pretty cool. So we got this article, and then there's a video. There's one video that I definitely wanted to watch, and then there's like one more article related to that video. So weaponizing competence, default parent, mental load, and invisible load. These phrases have entered the parenting conversation over the last few years, particularly on social media. Though they may sound new, buzzy, and at least in the case of weaponizing competence, inflammatory, they all serve the same purpose: to point out that one parent, usually women in a heterosexual relationship, often winds up with more responsibilities, seen or unseen. All right, cool. All right, I hear you. Okay. Okay. Traditionally speaking, yeah. Can't push back on that too much. We've all seen it. We've all seen it. If you got a heterosexual couple, they're married, they decide to have children, Normally, most of the duties associated with the child tends to default to mom in most cases. However, there are always outliers, right? For example, in my house, when I was growing up, even though it wasn't a lot of married couples, especially when I was younger, um, the men would come in and take care of business. I remember being with my dad when I was younger, and like my dad, my stepmom, my dad would do a lot of cooking, like breakfast and dinners and stuff like that. My stepmom would cook a lot too. They did split a lot of the chores, washing the dishes, cleaning. Like my dad, my stepmom, they I don't know if they sat down and discussed it, but they did split those chores a lot. My stepmom worked, my dad worked, and it was most of the time it was whoever got home first would begin cooking dinner, or would, like my dad would go cut the grass, or whatever. It was, you still had your man, male roles and female roles, your blue hats and pink hat stuff, those jobs. But the domestic stuff inside the house, the cleaning, the cooking, that would get, like my stepmom she had plenty of help. You know what I mean? At least from my point of view. But I've also seen households where, mom was doing everything. She would, even if she wasn't a stay-at-home mom, like, she had her job, but she would come home and she was the one dealing with the kids, changing diapers, cleaning up, cooking. Meanwhile, dad would get home, kick his feet up, play some Xbox or video games, or watch his favorite, sports program, or watch a game or whatever, while she's doing everything else. So I get it. Can't push back on that part right there. Can't push back at all. Miss AKA ladies in the building. What's good, sis? How you feeling? We over here talking about married single moms. Have you heard this term before? I wonder, sis. Have you heard this term? So yeah, in heterosexual relationships, most of the domestic stuff goes to the woman. I'm not gonna push back on that at all. It is what it is. So it says, here's a new one for you: married single mom. The phrase emerged in discussions around a viral video of a mom exiting her car with a handful of stuff and her two children. She essentially falls onto her toddler while trying to remove her young child from the car. Meanwhile, the man is standing there with a phone in his hand, doing nothing to help. I saw this video, y'all. I'm not going to show the video, but I am going to link it in the description below so you guys can watch it later. I saw this video, 7-second video, got a lot of questions. They're not going to share the video. Like, this, parents didn't want to put a link to the video up here, and I get that. I went and found it on my own. It's sad and frustrating, but there's no context to the social post. Are they even married? Facts. Like I said, I got a lot of questions about that video. Are they even married? Was he in the middle of walking someone through an actual crisis via text? We just don't know. True. Still, this much is clear. This woman had her hands full, literally and figuratively, and no support, at least in this situation. It's really not surprising, if you're paying attention. Our villages these days consist of must-have baby products. Okay, they go into the stuff about, you got to have this product and that product, daycare providers, providers are saints. All new categories still deserve paid leave. Oh, all new caregivers deserve paid leave. All of these things can be true at once. The comments and headlines on the video were harsh, saying it was the definition of a married single mom. All right, that last little bit there, that half of the paragraph when they were talking about having the baby products and all that kind of stuff, I think that was product placement, so people could click on that and buy stuff so they can, keep this thing going, I guess. But which it had nothing to do with the video. And in the video, it's a 7-second video, real quick video. You can see a woman draped with a couple bags, reaching into the back seat behind the driver's side, pulling out an infant, not quite newborn, like toddler, not even, little baby. I don't think the baby could walk. Pulling the baby out. Meanwhile, the toddler comes running around the car, the back of the car, and runs right up to mom as she's grabbing the baby out of the back of the car. Now, here's the thing. When I first watched the video, I thought the mom tripped on the toddler, but she didn't. The mom just tripped over her own feet, or maybe on the rear tire or something, and she fell just as the toddler was running up to her. So she fell back and she lands on the toddler. And there's a dude standing there. There's a guy standing there. He was on his phone and all this is going on. He kind of looks. This thing happens like that. The toddler, she starts crying. Like the mom is like, oh no. And, it is what it is. Definitely a bad look. I don't want to show it because the toddler got right up, but I don't know if she got hurt or not. But I was just like, let me just. I'll put the video in the link below so you guys can check this out if you're watching on Team Replay. So, and they're saying this is an example of a married single mom. Now, in this video, again, it's only like 7 seconds. You don't know the relationship between the two adults. We're assuming that this woman is the mom, the mother of the two kids. Okay, good. That's not a bad assumption. It's taking place in a garage. If you look around the background, you can see like this is an upscale neighborhood. It's a really nice garage. The angle at which the guy is walking into the frame doesn't look like he just got done driving. It kind of looks like he went somewhere. Maybe he went to check the mailbox, or maybe he went to do something else, or maybe he pulled up in another vehicle. He could be like an independent contractor. Maybe he's a guy who's coming to, give an estimate on fixing something, maybe cleaning the pool or lawn care or whatever. Who knows? He walks up and he didn't, when she fell, he wasn't, it didn't seem to me that he was kind of like, oh, like drop everything and run over to help. He was just watching. So I'm kind of watching this thing like, well, who is this dude? Reference this woman and these kids. And, again, 7 seconds. You have no idea what happened before, what happened after. Again, I got a lot of questions. Like, all right, did he offer to help? Did he say, hey, let me help you out? She was like, no, I got it. Cause you get that a lot. I got this. And the woman had like two big bags draped diagonal across herself, like one this way and one that way. When you sling something around yourself like that in the Army, we call that renegade. Like when you put your, you put your weapon on, you sling it around you like that, like renegade style. So she had like two bags around her, and she's trying to get this baby out the car seat. And you got the toddler who just runs right up to her. And again, if that were dad, why wouldn't the toddler's like little girl run up to dad? So it was kind of one of those, I got a lot of questions about this video. But this video apparently made the rounds, went viral. And now we're talking about married single mom. So what is a married single mom? If you don't want to Google the video, it's basically an extension of a default parenting, but it takes things a step further. It's crazy as hell. We got Brother Dust on the building. What's good, fam? What's good, fam? Brother D Mac is up in the building. What's good, bro? Good to see you. He's like, I pay 100% of the bills in my home. I ain't lifting a finger. I'm not mad about that, bro. I'm not mad at all. Let me ask you this though. Is this something that you and your wife, did y'all talk about this, or is it just something naturally just kind of flowed this way? Because I do have questions about this. I would imagine that every home is different. If I had a significant other, I wonder, would we sit down and talk about, okay, these are the things that I think you should do. These are things that I'm going to do. I've never had that conversation when I cohabitated with folks. I never did that. I remember back in the early 2000s, I dated someone who came into the situation and that's what she wanted to do. She didn't want to work. She wanted to just come in and be taken care of. And in her mind, she was like, I'm going to cook, I'm going to clean, I'm going to do all this. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to smash you and all this. But for me, it was like, nah, I need you to, you know what I mean? Woman up. You need to go out here and get you a gig and contribute. You coming into this situation. It's not like you coming into the situation. All I got to do is buy food and clothing and shelter. No, you got bills. You got debt. You coming into this situation and I have to absorb all of your financial responsibilities. And what are you going to do in return? You're going to cook. You're going to go shopping with my money, right? You're going to go and cook in my house. Like I've been doing all this stuff before you came along. So it's just one of those things. Like here's a woman who was hoping for a more traditional role dealing with a guy who's like, no, No, we're not going to do that. And we didn't have a conversation. I was thinking one thing, she was thinking another. She's looking at me as, well, here's an opportunity for me to I could go over here and do all these things and be a traditional woman and, walk away from all these responsibilities. She's going to pay for everything. And I'm looking at her like, cool, here comes another hustler. Here comes someone's going to get out here and is going to help me build and continue to grow with what I'm doing here. And we both were thinking different things. And once I realized what she was doing, it's like, nah, this ain't going to work. This is not going to work. Not only like you coming in here, I want to be the homemaker. All right, cool. But you also want to still be the boss in the sense that, and here's a story. We were out with friends and, we're living in an expensive city. We're out with friends. We're doing whatever. And we're sitting in we're just doing our thing. We're in the lounge, we got a bottle, whatever. And my girlfriend at the time decides she's going to order more bottles, orders a bottle of wine, orders some vodka or something like that. Not drinks, bottles. Right. So she's ordering bottles. And I'm like, okay. Not asking me if it's okay. She's not checking with me again. If you want to play that role of the I'm just gonna be a stay-at-home girlfriend slant wife, which that means you gotta holler at the man in the house. Is this okay? Can we order this bottle? I want to get this, love. Is this cool? I want to get that. She didn't want to do that. She just wanted to do it. And she just did it. Like, oh, so you still want to be a boss. You can't do both. You can't do both. If you're contributing financially, cool. You kicking in, fine. You want get a bottle or two, whatever. I ain't tripping. But if the guy is taking care of all of the expenses that you brought into the relationship, he's paying for your car, he's paying for your insurance, he's paying for your student loans, he's paying for all of your unsecured credit, all your credit cards and stuff like that, right? He's buying food, he's buying your clothing, he's paying for your trips. Like if you got to go somewhere, he's paying to fly you here, fly you there, hotel accommodations or whatever's going on. You're walking in, you're bringing a huge financial responsibility or burden onto this guy. And well, I stay at home and I cook and clean. Like, we don't have kids. What are you doing? This woman would be sitting out by the pool, hanging out, just chilling all day long. I come home from work and now she wants to go do stuff. Nah, this ain't gonna work, shorty. This ain't gonna work. And it didn't work. But that's that's crazy. And Miss AK lady's like, I'm very familiar with the situation. Word, we want do tell. Do tell. Might have to drop a link on this one, y'all. I might have to drop a link on this one because I'm curious to hear how this is working out. Brother D Max, like, I will help get groceries out of the car. Hilarious. Brother Dino, was you paying 100% on the dates DL? Yeah, like with this particular person, like we had a relationship going in. So we knew each other. We had known each other for years. I thought, and I ran this by people in my circle. I'm like, hey, this is what I'm thinking about doing. My people was like, oh, yeah. Because everyone knew this person, right? So like, oh, that's going to work. That's going to work out pretty good. She's going to come out here, do her thing. And y'all going to basically, join forces like Voltron and take over the world. But that's where I failed, as I did not ask her what her plan was. I assumed that she was going to come out and she was saying things. And again, I was hearing, but not understanding what she was saying. She was saying things like, well, I'm going to do this and start this business. So I'm going to do that and start that. But I want to do stuff from home. And this is long before a pandemic and all that, right? It's early 2000s. And I'm just kind of like, well, what the hell? You know what I mean? Like, this isn't at all what I was thinking. So again, I take a lot of responsibility for that. I was like, well, I should have done a better job, figuring out what exactly how this was going to look. But yeah, like, did I take? Yeah, 100%. Like, she came to stay with me. Like when she came out there, it was on, and she was right into the situation. That the problem was, I didn't understand how this situation was playing out in her head. She did not want to work. She wanted to take a break. Basically, she is tired of hustling, tired of being a boss babe. She wanted to come out and take a break. And I was like, no. And the whole thing fell apart. It got to a situation where it's like she was offered a career, like offered a position, which was like a career move, great salary. She didn't want to do it and didn't tell me. She's just like, oh, she took a trip instead. And that was it. Like, okay, you got to go because I'm not going to pay for all this stuff. Like, I'm not going to do it. I'm not. I'm not going to do it. And, that I put that on myself, and that was the last time that I really, that was very eye opening for me. When you see somebody who gets tired of the whole boss babe thing. So when I see all this stuff now that's floating around, this push back to traditional conservative women and all that, I understand why. It's hard out here. These streets are cold, bro. It's tough in these trenches. Miss AKA lady, I get way more help and support as a co-parent than I ever did as his wife. Oh, wow. Getting a divorce lightened my load so much. Sometimes the amount of work is unsustainable, and men don't always see that. Yeah. I've never been married. Um, and I'm the kind of dude that I'm gonna naturally want to do certain things. Like I can change that. I take care of kids, right? I can cook, I can clean. It's just certain things that I see something needs to get done. I just do it. But I understand that most, I ain't gonna say most, but a lot of men who aren't like that. And again, when you look at traditional norms, the traditional norm would be that, mom and or the woman would take care of these things. Huh. Brother D Mac, when we first met, I told her I wanted a traditional woman. And she told me she wanted a traditional man. We agreed 25 years ago. My wife got me spoiled, and she gets whatever, she wants. That's what's up. From a Benz to a Tesla, she asked, and she will receive. That's what's up. That's what's up. Rare ones in the building. Live and learn, mostly learn. Yes, sir. That's the way to do it, bro. That's the way to do it. Rare one was good, fam. You got to learn from these. You make mistakes, man. You hold your L's, you learn from them. Try not to make them again. You know what I mean? Sometimes you burn your hand 4 or 5 times on that stove before you stop touching that hot stove. You feel me? You know what I mean? It is what it is, but you got to stay in the game and keep learning. Keep learning. But that's cool that brother D Mac and his wife had an understanding going in. Like she's like, all right, I ain't trying to work. I want to stay at home. I want to do this. And I just need you to take care of everything else. He's like, bet, I got you. So that's the deal. I'm not mad at that at all. And apparently she ain't either. They got a successful relationship. I think the problem I think where the problem is when people don't have that understanding, or like in my case, I was seeing one thing, she was seeing something completely different. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't see myself in a relationship where, okay, I'm just gonna go out and make the money and you just stay home and do this. I just don't see myself in that type of situation. I mean, it could happen, but I like cooking too much to stay out of the kitchen. You know what I mean? I can't stand in the house and just watch dishes pile up in the sink and not at least put them in the dishwasher and turn the dishwasher on. You know what I mean? Like I can't. There's certain things, but I mean, I get it. I get it when one person is doing all that stuff. And Miss AKA lady, like in her situation, she's like, man, once we began to co-parent, it lightened my load. Okay, cool. But I would imagine it also brings other issues because, okay, I've lightened my load, but now I don't have a significant other. And it's like, it's like, so the cause and effect there is kind of crazy. I wonder, and I don't want to put you on the spot, sis, but I'm gonna ask this question and I'm gonna leave you alone. I would imagine you sat down and tried to work that part out with your husband at the time. I was like, hey, I need you to step up more and do this with the kids. And I guess I'm assuming he said no or said yes and didn't follow up. Because I don't want to pry too much into what you got going on, but that's what this whole married single mom thing sounds like to me. Like the married single moms are the women who are getting inundated with, like these wife or motherly duties, not getting any help, and they're frustrated, right? They're frustrated. Meanwhile, the guy, it's like, oh, I'm holding up my end of the bargain. I'm going out here making the money. I'm bringing home the bacon. I'm giving it to you. You got to fry it in the pan and hurry up. I'm hungry. Make me a sandwich. Meanwhile, laundry needs to be done. The bathrooms are dirty. The kids are going crazy. And, dude's just sitting there watching ESPN. So but it also tracks to what Brother D Mac was saying. If this is what you signed up for, this is what you signed up for, right? So let's continue. See, the default parent is the person who winds up with most of the tasks because they're there. That makes sense. Pediatrician appointments. On the default parent, last minute child care cancellations, the default parent takes off work and deals with the fallout from that, or attempts to work and parent from home. a tall task that comes with far less empathy than in the early days of the pandemic when it was funny to have kids pop up on Zoom calls. We all remember that viral video with the kids coming in and then I think it was the daycare provider trying to drag the kids out, and the dude was like on CNN or something hilarious. The default parent is also often the one the kids go to when that parent is busy, despite the other parent being available. Yeah. Kids get used to going to mom, or they get used to going, they're gonna, mom, can we do this? Mom. Yeah. And if you're, if you're like, if you're the dad who takes care of business, is like, Papa, can we do this? Papa. Yeah. Um, hold on one second, guys. I gotta mute myself for a second. My daughter's cooking, and I gotta ask her a question real quick. I had to check something out real quick. She's baking. I had to make sure she in there. I'm like, wait a minute. We don't have any milk. How you gonna make brownies? I guess it's instant. She's making some instant brownies. Um, but yeah, I mean, you get that. You know, you get this strife between the two. You know, kids are used to dealing with mom all day long. Mom. Then when dad comes home, it's like, hey, dad, and everything is cool. And then the kids go back to mom. Mom, I need this. Mom, I need that. I need help with this project. Mom, can you make me peanut butter and jelly tomorrow instead of turkey? Mom, Susie won't give me my whatever. Mom's dealing with all that. I get it. You know what I mean? And then you have some fathers who are like, yeah, they'll intervene and go in there like, calm down, everybody act right, pop coming in being pops. And sometimes they don't do nothing. They just leave, about to go down to the bar and hang out with the boys. But I get a lot of it is like, okay, what did you sign up for? Did we discuss this? Because a lot of people who get married and it's like, hell man, this is, love, what is it? Love, honor, obey, like cherish and all that kind of stuff. Love, honor, obey. Like, he's the man of the household. You're going to have to do your duties or whatever. Rich or poor, sickness and health, good and bad times, whatever the words are. If you say all this stuff, it's like, that's part of the deal. You signed it. You know what I mean? You said the words, but you don't want to say it that way because then someone's going to go see a lawyer if you say it like that. But I mean, it's Miss AKA lady. It's like, I definitely tried, but he was extremely traditional. He paid the bills and that's it. No real courtship. Parental support, just paying bills. But I have always made my own money. So that wasn't enough for me. All right, I'm gonna leave it there because I got so many more questions, but I don't want to put you on the spot, sis. I don't want to put you on the spot. But I will say this in general. For dudes who marry women who are like Instagram models or Instagram thoughts 304s, or women who are like exotic dancers, strippers or whatever. These dudes will marry these women, or just marry someone who's a modern boss babe, who's out there killing it, trying to make partner at the firm. Guys will get with these women and be shocked when it doesn't work because, like, well, I'm a traditional man. I want her to be at home. Like, bro, she ain't trying to be home. Right. And I think women do the same thing. Like, I want, he told me he's a traditional man, but I told him I'm a traditional woman, but I signed on with him being a traditional man and he needs to accept that I'm a traditional woman. And it's like then one or both parties get surprised down the road when it doesn't work. I think that's a big thing. I don't want to, I definitely don't want to jump on sister Miss AKA lady. Absolutely not. You know what I mean? So, but I'm talking about in general. I hear this a lot. A lot of women just get mad, like, well, I got this guy and he won't do this, and this. Like, well, was he doing it before? Well, no, not really. I mean, sometimes in the very beginning, honeymoon phase, he did it. Like, yeah, baby, he was trying to smash. He smashed whatever he's trying to keep you. He got you. Y'all married now? Well, he ain't gonna, that's not him. That's not him. You want him to, give you a trail of rose petals to the bathroom where he has the sauna going and he has the candles going and all that for you. He's not going to do that. You got to get the dude who's going to do that if that's what you want. And the same thing for the women. Like, you got a girl who's an exotic dancer or she's working in the high-end clubs as a bottle woman, like she's a bottle girl. She's not going to get that life up, bro. She's used to certain things. Like, it's like, well, I can't afford to buy her Birkin. I mean, I bought her one. She wants another one already. And she wants a Chanel bag and she wants some Louboutins and she wants, You know what I mean? Some Van Cleef. I can't afford all that. Like, well, the dudes that she see every day can. Those dudes at the bar can. And they will buy her a Van Cleef just so they can smash, just to have her come up to the penthouse tonight and smash, and she'll walk out of there with a Van Cleef. So why are you with her? You feel me? But you don't know her like I know her. Like, you don't know him like I know him. Like, all right, cool. Well, good luck with that. Like, good luck with that. Brother D-Mac, my wife and I do not have any children. That made her job easy. Facts, bro. Man, that's huge right there. That's how she's getting that Benz, that Bentley. She's getting that Beamer. You know what I mean? Boy, yeah, that's how she's getting all that, bro. I ain't mad at you, cuz I ain't mad at you at all. Because kids, yeah, man. Kids cost a lot, a whole lot. Just leave it at that. We'll just leave it there. A whole lot. So the article continues, it's not that the other parent never lifts a finger when they can be around, but it's assumed the default parent will handle much of the load, even if they're being pulled every which way too. And there are a lot of dudes out here who go through this, man. Like the default parent, you notice they're saying default parent, which generally speaking is probably most of the time the woman, but there are men out there who are default parents. And it's funny that we don't see anything about married single dads. Because I remember when my daughter was a newborn, infant, toddler, as she kept, growing, I was right there, had us down to a science, man. You would think I was on a mission. You would think I just dropped in with the 18th Aviation Brigade and just handled business, man. I had like a portable playpen that I had with her that would break down and everything. Always had her diapers and everything I needed to change her diapers, and like everything, man, lotion and baby powder and baby wipes and everything we needed, like food. We would just get like the fruit and chop it up. I would have everything prepped, ready to go. So, especially when I was living in Miami, I would come back to LA. As soon as I land, I go get my daughter, and then boom, we were just gone. We were just all over the place. Her mom was happy, like, whew, dad's here. And like for that whole week or whatever, she's with me. And wherever I went, she went. We're just doing our thing. I had strollers, everything, baby seats. You had the baby seat that you click into the car and you take it out and you click into the stroller. Man, technology was great. We had it down to a science. And I was cool with that. And then when her mom moved to Miami, I took care of, half of the responsibilities of raising our child. And I was 100% of the financial burden. Wasn't crying about it. It was 100% of the financial burden and 50% of raising a child. And in my mind, that's how it should be. You know what I mean? But I find it very telling that, women are out here hitting TikTok now or whatever. It's like, yeah, we're married single moms. So what does that mean? You single? You looking for something? You trying to do something? What does that mean? The article continues, married single moms do it all. While their partners play video games, scroll on Candy Crush, and insist they don't need to help with night walkings during the newborn phase because they have to work, and you have 8 weeks of unpaid time off in the air quotes. I did all that when I was in LA still, when my daughter was first born. When she came home from the hospital, she came home with me. And yeah, I was up every 2 hours, 3 hours, getting warming the milk up and feeding her. And I remember when the first week she was home, I never left the crib. I had her in her little crib, and I would sit there and watch her. I was so afraid of SIDS. Like I was just deathly afraid of that. It was programmed in my head like, baby, just stop breathing. I need to. And I ain't gonna lie to you, it was so many occasions when I couldn't see her little chest go up and down. I would just shake her and she would move a little bit around. Like, okay, cool. I was up. I was tired. I was wore out. Mind you, like her mom, didn't really work. And I had, I'm like doing this and all right, let me go to work, come home, like making sure everything was cool. Man, I took care of that. I get where they're coming from, but I never would in a million years would I think to make a TikTok or, something like that to kind of complain about it or whatever. It was like, that's just part of it. That's part of the deal. It's part of the deal. True, I wasn't on board. Like I didn't really have any choice, right? It is what it is. Here it is, done. I didn't have any choice, but that's how the game is played. Chalk it up. You know what I mean? That's how the game is played. Ain't gonna sit here and cry about it. It is what it is. I just took care of business. But yeah, man, weaponized incompetence. Change the baby's diaper. Like you get guys who just don't want to do it. They're like, I don't know how to change the diaper. I don't know this. Come on, man. That's BS. But hey, this is who the women marry, right? Married single moms aren't moms whose partners are in the military, partners who work long hours or repeatedly leave dirty dishes in the sink, aren't necessarily forcing someone into married single mom territory. Breastfeeding a baby doesn't make you a married single mom. Married single mothers do everything for their children, even if their well rested partner looks on or at their phone. That's a reference to the video. Again, we don't know who that guy was. Reference, the kid, the woman, and the kids, or whatever. But again, that's going to be in the description below if you want to watch the video. So, all right, I'm getting the picture here. I'm getting the picture here. This seems to me that married single moms are women who are in situations and they're not happy. They're frustrated. It's a lot of work, and they want more participation from their significant other, husband, or whatever. Okay, so what does it mean? Does it mean that they're gonna look elsewhere to get whatever it is they're looking for? Does it mean that they're going to go to that standby guy, the guy that's been friend zoned forever, the guy that she knows wants to be with her? That was the other choice. She chose guy number one, had the babies. Does that mean she's going to go back to her second choice and start to allow him to come into the world? Oh yeah, you come over here and I'll hold the baby while you take a nap, and I'll fix everything for you. And she come over. Oh, your house is so clean, and oh, there's no dishes. Yeah, you stay here, girl. Let me make you some soup or something. Does that mean she's gonna start that? Right? Or does it mean that she's gonna, uphold the vows? Like, what does it mean? Like, does she even want that? Now you start getting into that whole hypergamy thing, trying, because getting what you want, getting what's best doesn't necessarily mean the guy with the most money. You're right. It might, the dude who's doing the cooking, who's really good with the kids and loves, who does 50% or more of those chores, that guy might be more valuable than a guy who has a bunch of money. So again, you're still trying to get the best. You're still trying to level up. Like, I got this, but I really don't like this. So let me go over here and get this. And you got a guy who's sitting there like, yeah, I'll happily raise someone else's child. Is that what we're talking about here? So there's a video out here I want you guys to see. And this is the video that prompted an article in the New York Post. It was basically the same as what we just read, talking about the single married mom thing. And we're gonna watch this video. Like, this woman allegedly caught she caught COVID, her and her son, but the husband didn't. So the mom and the son were upstairs for a week, and the father was downstairs, and he didn't do any dishes or whatever. And when she got better, she came downstairs and was just horrified by what she's found. Like, it is what it is. Let's see. Let's say, a lady, you can be a married single mom just like a woman can be a single woman, but not a single mom. Parenting status and relationship status are two different things, huh? But, huh? I don't know. Why get married if you're gonna call yourself single? You know what I mean? If you're gonna call yourself single, why get married at all? Why even mess around with that side of it? Just have the child and co-parent, if that's the case. I mean, it seems to me that this is just, women are, I think, let's just break it all the way down. Let's keep it 100. These are women frustrated with the choice that they made. They're not happy with the choice of husband. They're not happy with the way he performs in this aspect. Does that mean they're going to be looking for another guy? Does that mean they're going to be looking to end a relationship or get divorced? I don't know. I don't know. But two different things, huh? I ain't mad at you, sis. You don't bring another man into the situation. You do your absolute best to resolve the issue. The vows are sacred and must be respected. Yeah, I mean, I hear you. The vows must be respected. Here in America, 50% of the time, because we're all accepted. Half of marriages in America end in divorce, right? So, and then you got those people who they stay married, but they do their own thing, but they agree to do their own thing. Like, oh, we're just gonna do our own thing. it is what it is. I think it does boil down to an individual, right? It's an individual choice. But this married single mom title, man, I don't. And even the New York Post article says, is this why relationships don't work in America or something like that? And the article is almost identical to the one we just read, but it centers on this video we're about to watch right now. This video, this is a TikTok that went viral, and this woman is just not happy with her situation. So let's check out this video, y'all. This is cool. This is TikTok. And this is a married single mom talking about her struggles.
It's been 7 days since I cleaned my kitchen. In fact, it's been that long since I stepped foot in it. My son and I got COVID while my husband somehow managed to avoid it. So we isolated on the top floor. The kitchen is so much worse than I could have imagined. I don't even want to look in the sink. A huge part of me knows how bad it's going to be because the entire kitchen smells like vinegar. That means there's rotting food hidden somewhere. I don't want to know what these sticky substances are because the second that I do, I just want to quit. I throw away this cup because there is no saving it, and a huge part of me wants to feel shame over how the kitchen looks. The entire bottom of the sink is filled with old food. Every time that I think I've seen the worst of it, I'm proven wrong. This is a smoothie that I made before I got COVID. I can't believe how disgusting things are, and I don't know how I'm going to get rid of the smell. But I refuse to tear myself down over the state of this kitchen. Most days I was too exhausted to get out of bed. And when I could force myself off of it, it was to take care of my sick little one. When some of my symptoms started to get better, I was working every day. I also did the laundry and cleaned the entire top floor. Acknowledging what I was able to do doesn't mean that I'm proud of how my kitchen looks. The smell alone told me how bad it was before I even saw it. But at the same time, I can also recognize I did the best that I could this week.
Well, there you have it. The New York Post did a whole article based on that TikTok. And I get her frustrations, but again, it sounds to me that she's just salty with her choice. I mean, I'm sorry. Like, if there's a dude who's like, I'm not gonna do these dishes. My wife is upstairs sick. I don't care if she just had a bad cold or whatever. I mean, bro, clean the kitchen, man. You got a dishwasher. I mean, I don't know if you guys are looking around in the background. That's a nice home. Yeah, great kid. I mean, it's a nice home. The way, she said that she actually has a job, so I'm assuming she works from home. There's a kid, right? Because the kid also was sick at the time. So they were upstairs isolating because they didn't want to get dad sick or whatever. All right, cool. And he's just going to work, coming home, throwing stuff in the sink, letting it all pile up. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. That's just disgusting. She chose the wrong dude. Dude looks like a deadbeat. Now, of course, it's only one half his story and all that. I get all that, but I'm like, man, dude looks like a deadbeat. How can you come home and look in your kitchen? But he's not in the kitchen like that, right? He's probably in the living room watching TV, but he goes in there and he just adds more dishes and lets that food and stuff. Man, that's nasty. That's nasty. And it's like, bro, okay, you don't want to do the dishes, hire somebody to come over here and do the dishes. You can hire someone to come clean up the kitchen and living room or whatever. It costs you maybe $100. Hire somebody to come over here and do that. She chose the wrong guy, in my opinion. but but I don't know, sis. Like this whole married single mom thing, it's. I hear you saying like just simply because you're unhappy doesn't mean you're gonna get another guy, but hey, I mean, because it doesn't just stop there, right? There's gonna be other things you're not getting the kind of attention she may not be getting the kind of attention she wants. Maybe the romance has died off or whatever. I mean, these things start adding up. And then you go from single married mom to being just a single mom because you got divorced. But I agree with you. The vows should be sacred. But I don't think a lot of people care about the words, man. They don't care about the vows. And Miss AK lady is saying it's not a real title, more so a statement of how much the father is slacking. Nobody gets married to feel single. It's not a title you want to have. You got a good point there. You got a good point there. But how do you wind up married to a dude that acts this way? Like again, it just I guess people aren't having those conversations. They're not talking about it. They're not saying, "Hey, this is what I expect." We're gonna have a traditional relationship, which means you're gonna be doing all of the housework. You're gonna be taking care of the kids when we have them. This, that, and the third. And then at that point, you would imagine she would say, well, "Okay, I'm cool with that, but you're gonna be helping, right? You're gonna be helping because I'm gonna be working too. So I'm not going to be the only one taking sick days, or we're going to figure that out, or in fact, if she's making more money, it's like, well, look, you're going to be home working from home because I'm making more money in the office. These conversations need to be had. And if people agree to whatever they agree to, then it is what it is. But, I think what happens is kind of like what happened to me. Didn't have a conversation. I assumed too much. I assumed these things were going to go a certain way, and I was wrong. And they did not go that way. And it is what it is. But I do see a problem with this term, this single Mary mom thing, which is just frustration. Just call it frustrated. I'm a frustrated mom, a frustrated wife. This has been the case for decades, generations. Even when women weren't in a workplace like that, they were frustrated. Like I'm at home all day, I'm cooking and cleaning. And this is before you had dishwashers. And this is before, this is back in the day when you made a pie, it took a long time to make a pie from scratch. Everything was from scratch. We weren't getting, you weren't getting we didn't have microwave ovens back then. You didn't have a toaster oven back then. You had to cook. You know what I mean? So yeah, I get when the women back in the 40s, 50s, 60s, even 70s were frustrated. Like, come on, man, you ain't doing nothing. All right, I get it. You were at work all day, delivering milk. You know what I mean? Or you were at work all day on the assembly line. Okay, I get that. But bro, that peach cobbler you love so much, I had to make that from scratch. You know what I mean? Like the lasagna, I had to make that from scratch. Ain't no instant lasagna. Like I got lasagna, I got Salisbury steaks downstairs, lasagna and all that. I can just pop in the microwave, pop in the oven, be ready in like 45 minutes, or pop in the microwave, be ready in a couple minutes. They didn't have that back then. Like you want lasagna, you had to make it. You want chicken parmesan, you had to make it. You know what I mean? It is what it is. So I get the frustration of those women back then because they were putting in all that work, probably more so than the guy. Like, bro, you just on a assembly line doing what you're doing. You're making widgets all day long. I'm in the house dealing with these kids, dealing with the PTA, dealing with the teachers, cooking, cleaning. Yeah, they had a lot. It meant a lot to be a mom, to run a good house. And you had people who weren't running those nice homes. Right. You still had that. You still had people living in the inner cities, like people living in Brooklyn or whatever. And the kids are out running the streets. And dads, you need dad to kind of hopefully keep them in line. But they, now you're dealing with the police. Like you're living in a small unit, dealing with the neighbors. It was all sorts of stuff, man. I get it. It ain't easy. It ain't easy. Brother Pitney, the married single mom title is yet another shaming tactic by modern women. Yeah, man. Yeah, I think you're onto something here. While there are some men that don't contribute, this is not the case in the majority of Western households. Happy wife, happy life became a common trope for a reason. Hey, man, I got to give you that, bro. I got to give you that. Like I said, I know how I move. I know how, anecdotally speaking, I don't know any dudes that just sit back and don't do nothing, with the exception of Brother D Mac. Like he came forward and said, hey, this is how we work. This is how we get down in our home. Okay, cool. And they sat down and had that conversation. Everybody was on board. No kids involved. Okay, cool. No kids. Yeah, you gonna take care of the house? Okay, cool. You know what I mean? Yeah, she should get everything she wants. All right, cool. You want, you want this outfit, you want them shoes, you want that bag, you know what I'm saying? You want that necklace, you want that card, no problem. We're making tons of money. You support me. We got this going. But the vast majority of people that I personally know, and if you guys hear noise in the background, it's my daughter in the kitchen. But the vast majority of people that I know, man, they get down. I mean, we cook, we clean, like we're going to take care of our significant other. When I say, I'm just including me. Those times I did have someone that I was with. It'll be a lot of times she come home. Like again, if I got home from work before her, she'll come home and I already had dinner made. You know what I mean? Or she wake up in the morning after, like, let's say she had a long week or something like that. She wake up on Saturday. Come on, man. She'll wake up to French toast, scrambled eggs, sausage, with nice fruit and stuff, breakfast in bed, or she'll, come downstairs and like, boom, there you go, love. I know you were working hard. I got that for you. She's going to be happy. It's a choice though. It's a choice. That's how I get down. There are a lot of men like that There are dudes who do that because I gotta agree with Brother Pitney. And there are dudes out there who do nothing. There are guys out there who's like, nope, wake up, make me this, make me that. I remember once I had a woman, she made fruit salad. And I went through, right? Man, this is the same. This is another add-on story from the one I told early in the stream. So here you are, you're sitting in the house, you're cooking, you're cleaning, you're doing whatever. No kids, nothing, it's just us. You make a fruit salad, and like it was like watermelon, pineapple, like cantaloupe, honeydew, strawberries, blueberries. I think it was good, really good, big old bowl. But the watermelon was like really good. Like I was like, man, I haven't had a watermelon this good in so long. So I would basically pick all the watermelon. I just ate all the watermelon, right? And little shorty got mad at me. Well, you know, it takes me hours to make that, and da 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 da. I was like, hold on, you don't work. Like I'm the dude to bring what at that I think that was the moment I was like, okay, that's what shook me into reality. What? You sitting here telling me not to eat the food that I bought, paid for, because you're saying that it took you an hour to cut up the watermelon? You can leave. You can leave. I'll do it myself. Again, I was doing all this stuff before you. You're not adding any value here. All you're doing, like you are a serious liability. And what it was just I had to sit back and I had to look at the situation. Little shorty was using me. She wanted someone. She was looking for Captain Save-A-Ho. Right? That's all it was. And I was looking for a woman who's gonna pull her weight. It's like Bill Burr said, like, when you gonna lift your side of the couch? It's just like, no, I think I got it in here now. Yes, let's listen to it, man. No, I got something. I was like, be a man. I got a different clip in there. It's the Be a Man clip, but it's one of those. When you gonna lift your side of the couch? Like, you want me to go to work, bring home the money, let you buy and do whatever you want to do all day long where you're not working. You're gonna cook and clean in this 1,000 square foot condo. It's not a lot of cooking and cleaning there. Right? You protect you count on me to protect you, to provide the security. And when you prepare something that I like, you get mad at me because I ate it. Nah, you gotta go. You gotta go. Somebody got it. Somebody got the game jacked up. Somebody got the game jacked up. So I'm like, nah, you gotta go. Yeah, you gotta go. I dropped a link in the StreamYard if anybody want to come up and talk about this one. You know what I mean? I preferably like to talk to women, or I would like to talk to folks who are in a relationship, because I think it makes more sense. But yo, she had to go. She had to go. And I mean, that's just kind of how I looked at it. Like, yo, shorty had to go, man. I just that's crazy. Miss AK, hey lady, I got married young, early 20s. Ooh, yeah, you were still a baby girl. At that age, I wasn't mature enough to understand what I needed as a wife. We are both good people and loved each other. I didn't know to look beyond that. All right, cool. I'm not gonna push back on that. I'm not gonna push back on that. At 20 years, and then when people get married young, I think you have a better chance of going the distance, in my opinion, if you get married young. Especially if both of you take that relationship serious, kind of put it first. Put you guys are like first in that situation. But sometimes it doesn't work. I get that. Sometimes it doesn't work. You gotta do what you gotta do, I guess. You know what I mean? Brother Lou's in the building. What's good, fam? My dad used to come home after working 12 hours and make a full course meal just because he loved to cook. Facts. That calms people down sometimes, bro. That calms them down. Like, if I'm going to make pancakes, or if I'm going to make crepes, or if I'm going to make waffles, or if I'm going to make, French toast, I do it from scratch, man. Why? Because it gives me an opportunity to do something, take my mind off of things. It's great. I love doing it. I love doing it. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't tripping. Sometimes I don't want to do it. It takes time. You got to go out, get the right kind of ingredients. You know what I mean? You got to get the right type of flour. You got to go get all the extras, like your vanilla extract, your cinnamon, and all that kind of stuff, man. The proper eggs, and you want the kind of, certain types of milk. It depends on what you're making and how you're making it. So just going out to get all the ingredients takes time. You bring all that stuff home and then like, okay, I'm going to do this. Sometimes I would prep the night before. So when I wake up in the morning, all I got to do is just kind of dip the French toast in, or, I've already made the batter. All I got to do, is just go ahead and start dropping the cakes or whatever. But I would enjoy doing it, man. I enjoy cooking. Sometimes I really do. Just like my daughter enjoys baking. She's down there baking some brownies right now. They smell good. She got the instant ones. She ain't eating milk. Man, they smell good though. I ain't gonna lie. Wonder how moist they're gonna be. And she's making leftover spaghetti from yesterday. She's doing her thing. So proud of her. My little baby's down there trying to do her thing. She better not burn up the kitchen. Oh, she's down there. You see her just figure it out. Don't burn yourself. But these are the great moments. I mean, as a parent, these great moments as a kid. Like she's earned enough respect from me that I know she can handle the responsibilities and she's not gonna burn herself up. So she's down there doing her thing. I remember the first time I made pancakes. Man, it was horrible. I was a kid. I didn't know what I was doing. My mom wouldn't make them, so I reading the instructions on a box and made them myself. Man, it was all mushy inside. Man, it wasn't cooked through. Whatever. I ate them, but I got better. Miss AKA lady. The title is For the Men Who Do Nothing. If that ain't you, then you can't say it's not a thing. It's just not your thing. Facts. But sis, when you agree with me though, like, don't we have to put some responsibility back on a woman or women who marry these type dudes? Like I said, I'll give them a little bit of leeway if they get married young. Like you're 20 years old, 17, 18, 20 years old or whatever. They don't know each other. And a lot of times you got these kids, they kind of, you want that parallel where y'all stay right here parallel, right, the whole time. But sometimes you got people who their courses diverge a little bit. So as they grow apart like that. Or you have the people whose courses diverge inward like this. So they come and it's like, oh man, this is great. And then boom, they begin to pass one another and continue to grow out. Right. You have all these different scenarios. This is why, I tell people all the time, if you're going to get married in America, do it while you're young, you're broke, you don't have a lot to lose. Right. But, if you do marry someone and you have a lot, you also want to prepare yourself for that. Stuff like this, like the situation I was just telling you, like, how you going to get back? You are basically a stay-at-home girlfriend. You are a kept person. And all you got to do, which is what you said you want to do, is cook, clean, and smash, right? That's all you got to do. And you get mad when your guy is eating the food that you prepare. Well, you're eating too much and you're doing it. What? That didn't make sense to me. That didn't make sense to me at all. Like you go into a situation, you bring nothing but debt. You know what I mean? Like you bring nothing but debt. And you're sitting here like, well, I'm going to do all this hard work and everything. And then you start complaining. Well, it took me a couple hours to make the fruit salad. It took you a couple hours to cut up some fruit and put it in a bowl. Okay. And you mad because I'm eating the fruit that I like? You know what I mean? Like that was, I'm sorry. That was.
Well, that's great. That's just fucking great, man. Now what the fuck are we supposed to do?
And that was the thing. So I was like, nah, this ain't gonna work. You got to go, man. Game over, man. Game over. Game over. Miss AKA lady is saying, if I cheated on my husband, is it his fault or should I take responsibility for my own choices? There's a couple ways to look at that. I would say that he has it's his fault in the sense that a lot of times do push women into the arms of another man. I would definitely say that he has some responsibility in that. Like if you were the woman, I've seen dudes who were like complete assholes, but their women would not cheat on them. They wouldn't look at other dudes. They just wanted that guy, right? I've seen that. I've seen women who had the perfect guy, quote unquote. Like this guy did everything. He didn't step out on her. All he cared about was her. Her happiness was paramount. A happy wife, happy life kind of thing. And she cheated. It's like, well, how can that be his fault? It's like, well, he should have been a little more dirty with it. He should have been a little gangster. You know what I mean? You want to be a little gangster with it, don't you? You know what I mean? Typical, good guy. You know what I mean? He's out here being a good guy and it cost him. She stepped out on him. In most cases, in those situations, the women come back because they realize, like, I can't do better than this guy. And he did really take care of me. Sometimes the guy never finds out, and it is what it is. Sometimes the guy does find out, and, you know, most often cases, he keeps her. Me, I'm dumping her. But to answer your question, I think that if a woman cheats on her husband, I think that the husband has to take some responsibility for choosing the wrong woman. You chose the woman. You chose her, bro. You know what I mean? How did you not see this coming? How did you not understand the way she was moving? She's moving differently. Like, how did you, you know what I mean? How did you not sense this? Most women ain't trying to smash two dudes. And if she does like smash her husband, she's not going to have any like feelings in it. She's not really going to want to do it. You know, it's a difference between someone actually being with you because they really want to be with you. And that's a special thing to them versus a woman who is just starfishing and just like whatever. And she's thinking about this other guy. As a man, you should be able to discern the difference. You feel me? Like, you should be in tune enough to understand the difference. Most dudes aren't. Most dudes aren't. I mean, just keep it 100. So yeah, I would say he definitely he plays a role in that, sis. Like, he plays a role. Like, what did he do to push you? And we're not talking about a situation where the guy just married a 304. Like, there are dudes out there who married like the exotic dancer, the Instagram thought, or whatever. We're not talking about that. We're talking about a dude who married a quote unquote good woman, and he's not being a dutiful husband in the sense that he's not providing her with what she needs. If she ain't getting it from you, she's gonna get it somewhere else, bro. Trust and believe. And like I said, I wish the vows would be all you need to keep people on the straight and narrow, but nah, I don't care. Most people don't care about them vows, sis. Let's keep it 100. They don't care. They don't care. If ever in my remaining life, right? Because I'm coming up, I'm definitely in the second half of my life. If ever I were to get married, we're not saying those traditional vows out of the Bible because I already know, man, she ain't gonna do that shit. We gonna make up our own words, and we gonna say what we say. We gonna make up our own words. We're not bringing that shit up. We're not saying the words in the Bible because I already know, like, man, that's not gonna happen. I already know, right? And again, if I'm getting married to somebody, you best believe she got paper. I'll be marrying somebody like that Bad Baby. You know, she's worth about 40, 50 million. Yeah, we can get married. Bad Baby. If this marriage don't work out, come holler at your boy. I can be as gangster as I need to be. You know what I mean? Because she'll lose what? She'll lose 25 million in that marriage. She'll still be worth 25, 30 million when she comes see me. Like, come see me, baby. It's on. Get a nanny too. Someone's gonna have to look after the baby because I think they're pregnant. But is it Bad Baby? Yeah, Bad Baby. That's the meet me outside girl. Definitely want to talk about her. Like, she's I'm happy for her. She's married. She's married to a dude that doesn't make apparently the dude doesn't make the kind of money she makes or has her net worth. You know, so if dude were to step out on her, I wouldn't necessarily say that's her fault. She would have responsibility. I think it's hard for one woman to keep one dude really sexually satisfied. I think depending on the dude. So I wouldn't, it's kind of crazy, right? It's like a double standard. If a woman cheats on a man, I think it's the man's fault. He definitely did something wrong there. If a man cheats on a woman, that's not necessarily a thing. He might just be trying to smash something. But if a man is out there taking care of another woman, and that's a problem. That's a problem. And then it's like, yeah, she has a hand in that. Like, because she absolutely did something to push him away or push him into the arms of another woman that he wants to take care of. So I would say, yeah. I would say that's the equivalent. And that's your red pill moment, boys and girls, for this live. But I do believe that. I was like, it's if a dude gets an opportunity to smash a dime, he's probably gonna do it, but he doesn't care about it. Won't even remember her name. But for a woman, if a woman's out there looking at another guy, she wants to give her body to that guy. There's absolute feelings involved, and I think the equivalent to that is a guy who's going out, providing resources and security for another woman. So he's basically like, I got a house over here and I'm taking care of this woman, and I got my wife over here and I'm taking care of her. I think I would say that's the woman's fault. Like, you did something wrong to push dude over there. You know what I mean? Unless we're talking about a situation where, they talked it over. It's like, I'm going to have multiple women and she signed off on it. You're number one, but I'm going to have 3 more. And if that's the case, okay, cool. That's fine. That's between them. But yeah, I think the dude has responsibility. Miss AK, honest, Miss AKA lady, say honestly, we are all adults. You can't anticipate what the situation will be after years and kids later. Situations get more complex and you travel into new territory. Facts. Facts. But I would say that, the whole vetting process is about trying to discover or figure out who the person really is. Like, is this a loyal, honorable person? Right? If this is an honorable person, did they, hey man, I'm truly going to forsake all others. I understand, like someone like me. I understand that if a beautiful woman came over me and I had a couple drinks, or I'm out in the hotel somewhere and she wants me to smash and she's married, she's like, I just want you to get this off and you can go on about your business. I know how difficult it is to say no to that. So I'm not going to put myself in a situation. If you got a guy who's honor bound, he's like, I don't want to do that. I want to stay in this relationship and I want to uphold, you know, my word. Cool. That takes time to get to know that guy and figure out he's that dude. Right. And the same thing with women. Like it takes time to get to know that woman. That's why it's so important to vet people. It's so important to vet folks. So I agree with you. People are adults and we do change as we grow forward, but you still want to vet out those people that are bullshitters. And I don't care how old you are, you can vet that out. If you got to, like, let's say you marry someone in your 20s and then by the time you're out here 30s, you can see that they really changed. Like you should be able to notice when they're out here doing these things. Like you just can't, like we get to a point where like, okay, I don't trust them anymore. Why I don't trust them anymore? Get to the bottom of it. You know what I mean? They're gonna slip up. And when they slip up, you got to deal with it. Of course, you got guys like me. I'm like, hey man, ignorance is bliss. Don't let me find out. Do what you gonna do, but don't let me find out. If I find out, it's a wrap. I ain't gonna do nothing to you. I'm leaving. I ain't gonna do nothing to dude. He's doing what he's supposed to do. I'm leaving. I'll see you in court. It's done. We're moving on. Right. But you want to try to, find that person that's gonna at least, uphold their word. Like, you want that honorable person. Is it hard to find? Yeah, it's hard. Especially now when people want what they want and they're easily swayed by stuff. You get somebody who all of a sudden now they're into fashion, all of a sudden they done changed their friends and now they gotta have this, they gotta have that. You gotta be careful around that person. Like, damn girl, what's going on? Who are these people you hanging out with? Now you gotta pay attention. Why you hanging out with these chicks? Why you hanging out with the Real Housewives of Atlanta or whatever? Why you hanging out with them? Right? You hanging out with a bunch of divorced and single women out here wanting to party and get all his attention. Why you hanging out with them? Oh, you hanging out with Sierra? We got to talk. We got to talk. We got to sit down and have a conversation, baby. What's going on? What is this you twerking on Instagram? What's going on? Why do you have an Instagram? What's going on? Can I have your Instagram? Give me your password. Oh, I can't have it. I can't look into your DMs. It's time to go. Right? It's time to go. These are things that people tend to ignore it to their own detriment. You can't ignore this stuff. You can't ignore this stuff. When you come across someone and they're starting to change in ways that, they're going down a road that you can't follow, just like Darth Vader was going down a road his girl couldn't follow. She's like, I can't do that. And it was a wrap. It was a wrap. Now, I'm not saying use the force to choke her out or nothing like that, but I'm just saying just get your stuff and move on. Get the stuff and move on. But yeah, people do change, sis. You're right. People change. And you have to be aware of these changes, these subtle changes. And if they decide to take a path that you don't want to go down, if they're like, hey, I want to open a relationship, let's try the poly thing. Let's start going to these swinger events. Hey man, if that's a path you don't want to go down, y'all got to have that conversation. If anything, just continue to be honest with one another. If y'all can at least do that, just be honest and respectful to the end. Like, well, just tell me, okay, I can't do that. It's cool. But, let's figure the rest out. How are we going to split this stuff up? Because you obviously want to get out there and do what you're going to do. Go do you, baby. I ain't mad. So what we going to do here? But then some people are like, well, but they don't want to leave you. Like, well, yes, you do. If you're trying to go smash other people, you ain't trying to be with me. That's not what I signed up for. Right? So these are the honest conversations that people need to have. Your eyes got to be open. Once they're open, like once you can't unknow it. Like, all right, I know it now. And again, it's like, thanks for telling me. I want you to be able to go out and do you without have to worry about, breaking our covenant. Like, okay, we're gonna go ahead and move on. That's why, like I said, I'm gonna have my own words. If I were to ever get married to a woman, somewhere in my vows will say that, okay, we're gonna do this as long as it works, or words to that effect. We're gonna do this for as long as it works. We're not gonna do this forever. We're not gonna do till death. Now we're gonna do this for as long as it works. That's how we're gonna do this. I will have those words in there. Because knowing that that's a good chance this ain't gonna work. Even with the vetting process and everything else, that's a good chance, we might grow apart. Kind of like what Mr. KLA is saying. People grow in different ways. Brother Dino, like, you got to do your due diligence before commuting. Yeah, bro. Before you commit, you got to do that due diligence, bro. I tell people 2 years. 2 years of vetting. It's hard. It's hard to hide stuff from people for that long. If they can hide it from me for over 2 years, bro, it is what it is. It's just hard. You're going to make mistakes, man. You're going to make mistakes. If you out there running whatever game, you're going to slip up. And it's hard to not slip up in 2 years if you're paying attention. Dudes get caught. Players, male players and female players get caught all the time. They'll slip up. And the other person in their life just lets it go. They let it go. Some women just want you to lie to them, open themselves up to the lie. You know what I mean? I had a woman like that before. She was like, just tell me when you take a trip overseas, like, just tell me when you go to France that you're not going to be sleeping with any women. Like, I'm not telling you that. If it pop off, it pop off. We weren't together like that. Like, baby, we just smashing. But she wanted me to lie to her. Like, I'm not going to lie to you. No. If something happens, if I meet somebody, if I meet Paulette's, you know what I mean? And she hits me with the parlez-vous français and makes it sound all good. And she's like, menage a trois, whatever they say over there. Yeah, man, I'm doing it. Little shorty wanted me to lie to her and tell her, like, oh, no, you're the only one. I'm not lying. I'm not going to lie to you. So those people who do lie all the time, they get caught. But the other person wants them to lie to them. Women lie to dudes all the time. Dudes lie to women all the time. Like, it's just, until something happens, like they come home with a disease or a baby. It's kind of hard to lie your way out of that. You know what I mean? Like, the doctor said I got this now, and you're the only person I sleep with. So, it ain't for me. Well, let's go get you tested then. Or go through the medicine cabinet and find the medicine that they taking. Like, oh, this is the same medicine I'm taking to get rid of the stuff that you gave me. And there's some women out there and men out there who will still forgive that person. Oh, I'll never do it again, baby. Like, you still with them? Man, you get what you deserve. Miss AK, hey, lady, I think it's easier to select a mate now that I'm older, even though Red Pill says different. LOL. So I agree. My discontent is better. Therefore, my discernment is better. Therefore, I'm in a much more fulfilling situation. Yeah. Like, there's a lot of talk about the wall. I think a lot of women misunderstand the wall when they say that. Like, when you talk about the wall, women hit the wall as they get older, they lose attraction. They do. Right? If the average dude is out here looking for beauty and youth, it's really hard to hold on to that as we age. Again, I don't look my age, but, I can't compete with my 22-year-old self, just like a woman can't compete with her 22-year-old self if she's 42, 52 years old. She can't. So that's what a lot of that is about the wall. Now, can an older woman still meet dudes? Absolutely. Absolutely. Even in the red pill world, they say you can't. No one says that a woman can't get a guy. You can have a woman who is a 2 or a 3 on the scale of attraction. Still got dudes. Big girls walking around with dudes. Old women walking around with dudes. You can get guys. But the point about the wall is you get less attention from the top tier guys. You get less attention from the guys that you want. That's the wall. And the wall comes for us all. At some point, I'm going to hit the wall face first. I'm going to hit the wall hard. Bam. I already see it when I go out now. Not that I'm out here trying to holler at these young girls, but I see it. A lot of young girls, I'm just too old for some women. They think I'm in my 30s, 40s. So like last time I was out, these young girls are like, she said something to me. And I'm like, nah, baby, I'm much too old. She's like, what are you, like 38, maybe 40? I'm like, nah, baby. Like, not even. Thank you. Right? And it was like, what? Like, yeah, I'm way older than that. But the wall will come for me at some point. At some point, I'm definitely gonna look old, even if I don't look my age. Maybe when I'm 80, I might look like I'm 60, but 60 is still old, like for a guy. So that's all that means. Like, as you get older, it becomes harder to get the guys that are the top tier dudes. Like, they'll smash or whatever. You got your body together. You look at someone like Janet Jackson. I'm probably sure there's still young dudes out there trying to smash her. You look at Selma Hayek. You look at, I mean, we can name, tons and tons of older women who are still sexy. Jennifer Lopez. You can find, you can name older women who are still sexy, but look what Jennifer Lopez had to do. She had to go back to the dude. She had her top tier 1% simp waiting on her. She's like, she got lucky. She got that. She got Ben Affleck. Like, whew, she got him. How old is Sierra? Like, she's still fine. She's gonna have this baby and still be fine. And she's gonna go out there and still do what she was doing before. And Russell Wilson is gonna be right there to support her. Like, go ahead and twerk. Yeah, go ahead, show everybody your body. I'm gonna hold that camera. I bet you, like, if she decided she wanted to do it OnlyFans, Russell Wilson probably hold the camera. It is what it is. That's what he wants. Okay. But yeah, the red pill says different. That's funny. They just talk about the wall. Like, it's just women out here. Like, I tell women all the time, every woman I've ever met, and we've had this conversation, I tell them all the time, like, you can get a dude today. Stop it. You can get a guy today. And every woman's like, yeah, you're right. Yep. I guess a guy here right now that will want to be with you long term, not even trying to smash, like really trying to date you in here right now. And you look around the room like, but I don't find any of these guys attractive. I'm like, okay. Men can't do that. Men cannot do that. I just can't go out with no game, right? No nothing, and just come up on something. Nah, it's not gonna happen. I was at Dunkin' Donuts the other day, y'all. Dunkin' Donuts. Cheating. Like, I shouldn't be getting no donut, but I wanted to get me a little blueberry glaze, right? So I go in there, I'm in Dunkin' Donuts. I pull up to the window to pay for my little donut. And the woman that was standing in the window, man, she was attractive. I'm pretty sure she was Latina. I don't think she spoke a lot of English. And one of the other workers were kind of like, the manager was kind of right there. She had the headphones on, like, and she was right there just in case someone had a question about their order or whatever. I was like, okay. So she spoke enough English to, that was $4.65, please. Here's your change. She could do that. But outside of that, I think her English was limited. Man, when I say fine, little shorty was bad, man. Solid eight. Hardly no makeup on, wearing jeans and a Dunkin' Donuts shirt with a little visor on. Fine. Little shorty was fine. Right? Somebody is going to holler at her. Someone who speaks Spanish is going to holler at her, and she's not going to be working at Dunkin' Donuts in the window much longer. But there are dudes out there who are handsome, in shape, young, strapping lads, working the window, dropping fries. They ain't not going to have some fine woman, older woman pull up worth, 10, 15, 20 million or whatever, doing really well, making, $200,000-$300,000 a year, and be like, you want fries? Come on, jump in. Just you and us. I'm gonna take care of you, son. I'm gonna take care of you. It's not gonna happen. And that's pretty much what they talk about when they talk about the wall. That you lose a little bit of that attraction from the guys that you want to get that attention from. That's pretty much what they're talking about. But that's funny. Miss AKA lady's like, yep. That's why I say get off the internet and live a real life. Facts. I tell these young dudes all the time, man, y'all got to get out here, man. Y'all got to get out here. If I can get Glow on, which we're going to get Glow on hopefully this week. And, here's a young woman, 21, 22, somewhere in there. She's working hard. She's a bartender, works 2-3 nights a week, probably, maybe more, because she picked up our event, which is separate from what she was doing already. Beautiful young woman. Has, of course, she has Instagram. Of course, it's not private, and again, she's real sharp. And, like right now, she has all the leverage. But if she waits 20 years and just plays the field for 20 years and don't lock down the kind of guy that she wants, it's going to be real hard when she hits 42. as opposed to 22. Right. And that's the thing. That's the thing right there. And she's out in the real world living her life. And, the guys are going to see on this platform, we're going to have the stuff out there. And, these young boys are going to see what we're doing. And hopefully they'll jump on and we can have some conversations with Glow and talk about what's going on out there. But these dudes are behind their computers and, in these chats doing whatever they're doing and not outside in the trenches. You got to get out there in the trenches if you want to get better. That's the whole point. You got to get in the trenches. And if you don't get in the trenches, you can find yourself in a situation where you don't realize the damage you're doing to your relationship by not helping out your wife, the mother of your children. And now she's walking around talking about, I'm a married single mom. And she'll go out with her girls at a divorce party or something like that, right? You out doing whatever. Maybe you home with the kids, or maybe I get a babysitter, or you take a trip somewhere. She's going out with the girls on a divorce party night. Ain't no telling what might happen, bro. Ain't no telling. And because you're not out here in the trenches, because you're not living in the real world, or you stop living in the real world, you miss all the signs. Like, bro, a lot of times women, they don't want to do that, man. They're like hoping you will see what's going on so they don't go out there and get caught up. But hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. Yeah, you got to get out the internet, get in the real world. I'm with you, sis. You know what I mean? I ain't ever had an issue, and I am a divorcee with 2 kids. But I'm also a positive person, great with money, spiritually sound, family oriented, and work out regularly. I'm treated well. Yeah. Yeah. And my thing is, you don't even have to be. I mean, just think about it. How many women out there that are kind of like, obese, terrible attitude, not really hustling out there, really like not good with money, wasting all their bread, and they still got legions of guys trying to get at them. It's just easier. When it comes to the whole relationship thing, it's just easier for women. We got too many dudes out here just super thirsty, bro. Simpletons. They don't even know how to holler at women. You know what I mean? Like, the new term, like, these dudes don't know their value. A lot of these guys don't. So it is what it is. So yeah, that's it, man. I just wanted to talk about this whole married single mom thing, man. I think it's a bad thing. I don't like this title, married single moms. I don't like this title. It's kind of like what Brother Pitney was saying. This is just a way, to shame dudes and maybe give yet another reason to walk away from a relationship, even though you don't need a reason to get divorced. Hey, everything is no fault, but here's the reason, girl. He ain't helping you with the kids. He doesn't appreciate you. He doesn't, he doesn't value your worth. Leave him. Won't you come out with us? You can smash Brock the bartender. You know what I mean? You can smash Tyrone the stud. Miss AKA lady, you're not one of these women who looking for that kind of sexual attention, but I know a lot of women out there who are, especially here in Tampa. Oh my God, man, they be getting down. Like every time I go out, if I go to the Addition, and next time you're in Tampa, I'm gonna take you and your people to the Addition. Like that joint is crazy. It's just like it's a hotel, it's like a lounge, got a rooftop thing going on. It got some cool restaurants, some cool bars and stuff in there. It's a real cool space. Every time I go in there, I got women hollering at me. Can't get out the elevator without somebody saying something to me. It's like, wow, okay. They trying to get it in. It's a lot of women trying to get it in, and they just really want the physical. Just keeping it 100. They just trying to get it in. You're not. You know what I mean? You're enjoying life, taking care of business. You got your priorities right. You know what you're doing. But there's a lot of women out here who just, man, they trying to get to the, you ain't got to get them to the room. You ain't got to get them to your house or to the hotel or nothing. They ready to do it in the car. It's crazy out here. Tampa's always been that way, though. Always. Casual Germs in the building. What's good, fam? A woman's attitude towards life is very important. Facts. And that's part of the whole vetting process. Make sure you're talking to the right one. Make sure she ain't just talking a good game. She like, she's really about that game. She's really about that life. It's ways to do it. But again, all that knowledge, all that experience is what we call game. You got to be gamed up so you don't get played by the wrong chick. You got to be gamed up. And, here's what it is. So like they messing up the game. They messing up the game for who? Depends on what game you're talking about. Them loose women out there ain't messing up nobody's game. They getting what they want. They getting it. They getting it all day, every day. And they giving it up to the top tier dudes, or the dudes who know what they doing. They ain't messing up nothing. The bottom 80 guys are always going to be the bottom 80 guys. And they're the good boys. You know, good boy, good boy. And once these women get ran through, they tend to want to go down here and grab them, snatch up one of these bottom 80 dudes, and they wind up hurting him. You know what I mean? It is what it is. This is why we all must be gamed up. I ain't mad. If you want to go out here and mess, you know, you got women out here who want to go out here and be loose with it. That's fine. Be loose with it. You know what I mean? I could tell right away. All right, I know what time it is. I know what we're doing here. This is cool. You know what I mean? Come get it when you want it. I ain't tripping. You know what I mean? But there are dudes out here who they don't understand that. They get a woman, you know, and they smash, you know what I'm saying? They get their little thing wet. And they just in love, marry me and do it. And, you know, here's what it is. It just turns out the way it turns out. But this whole married single mom thing, I don't like that title. I ain't gonna lie. Just say I'm a frustrated mom. I'm a frustrated wife. You can say that and go have a conversation with your husband. But to say I'm married single, that's letting me know something right there. Oh, you claim this? Don't pull up next to me at the bar talking about I'm married single. Word? Don't be sexy saying that to me. Oh, I just can't believe he doesn't even help getting them ready for school in the morning. It's just so frustrating. Do you understand what I mean? I'm like, well, you know, I get my daughter ready every morning for school. I'm a single dad. Oh, so you understand? Yeah, I understand. And start talking. Next thing you know, okay, it's been fun 2 hours. You got to go now. Yeah, I got to go. I'll talk to you later. Yeah, here's my Instagram. Hit me up when you're ready. DM me, girl. I sure will. Yeah, I know what you know what I mean? They get frustrated and they looking for something. If they, you know, they going to find it. Especially if they going to find it. So many in my day, and I had so many frustrated women just ready to get it in. And it wasn't me. I don't want people thinking I got some sort of game, I got some sort of secret sauce or whatever. I dropped some lines. No. She saw me. She came over to me. We had a good conversation. I did not put my foot in my mouth, and it went the way it went because that's what she wanted to do. She chose me. It wasn't me. It was her. She chose me. I just didn't screw it up. I sat back, played my role. She dished her friends, meet me in the parking lot, bet. I'll be in the parking lot. I'll leave first. She'll leave after me. Jump in the whip. Ideally, when the valet pulls the car up, boom, she jumps right in the car. None of her friends saw her because they busy doing what they doing, trying to get their attention. Man, we off to the races. But anyway, that's another story for another episode. We're not going to talk about that here. We'll definitely be back tomorrow, guys. Tomorrow's Thursday. We'll definitely be back tomorrow. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to talk about, but I want to keep it in this vein. We might be talking about. I recently rewatched the Red Pill documentary. If you guys haven't seen that movie, please check it out. The Red Pill documentary. I'm gonna try to find it out. Link it in the description as well. Man, it's worth watching. There was a piece in that documentary where a father was going back and forth with the court. They were co-parenting. They had a son. The mom was obese and her family was obese. And the father was fit. Of course, his family was fit. And the child, the little boy, was kind of stuck between both worlds. So mom would have him eating whatever he wanted to eat. He was gaining weight. He would go spend time with dad, and then dad would get him to lose weight and showed him, you know, how to eat right and all that. And it was this constant battle because mom wanted him fat for whatever reason. And dad was trying to keep him fit. So this winds up before the judge. And then finally, because we were talking back and forth before the judge, before can't do this, can't do that, whatever. So finally the judge ordered that the child, the father could not weigh the child. Yeah, the judge said, you can no longer weigh your child. Problem solved. Basically saying, nope, you got to let your son be fat. Because the court recognized what was going on, and the court knew that at some point it was not in the child's best interest to be with the mom who wasn't taking care of his nutritional needs. And that's my take on it. So I think we'll talk about that tomorrow. I think I'll pull that clip up tomorrow. We can kind of talk about it just to kind of get another look-see into the way the family court system works. Now, I don't think that happens all the time, but it's just an example of how the courts will do everything in their power, right, to keep a child with a parent, even if it's not in the child's best interest. And I mean, it's a really sad story. And it's in that movie, it's in that documentary, The Red Pill. You can definitely check that out. It was just crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's like shaking my head, child abuse. Yeah, you would think that's child abuse. Now it's funny if it were the other way around, if the father was the obese one, I think that the court would have absolutely mandated that the father has to, you know, put the child on a nutrition plan and weigh-ins and all this kind of stuff. That's when you kind of get into the societal norms. Mom can do no wrong. Dads always seem to be wrong or whatever. You kind of get into this kind of thing. And that's what Brother Pitney was talking about with this married single mom thing. You read these articles and you look at these TikToks and people walk away thinking that most men ain't nothing. They ain't trying to help and be involved in their children's lives. And they're not trying to, you know, help mom or the wife with, you know, certain chores around the house. And it couldn't be further from the truth. I think there are a lot of dudes out there who do those things. So I think this married single mom thing is dangerous. I think it's dangerous. Married single mom, I think, is going to lead to, you know, to people wanting to end relationships maybe prematurely. I think it's gonna lead to people wanting to, you know, have this, you know, just kind of have this resentment and stuff build up or whatever. I think it's bad. So tomorrow we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about that clip from The Red Pill tomorrow. I hope everybody enjoyed this episode. You know what I'm saying? Because I always enjoy y'all, man, rocking out with y'all. Miss AK, hey lady, I'm headed back to the real life. LOL. Great chatting it up with y'all. Great chatting it up with you. Yes, I'm so glad you came through. I appreciate every last one of you guys who spend time with us over here, man. I really want to know podcast. I really appreciate y'all for sure. This is definitely fun. I enjoy doing this. I enjoy watching the channel grow. And we're going to continue to have the channel grow moving forward. Can't wait to see where we are this time next year, right? So I'm going to see y'all tomorrow. I'm DL Saint. This is I Really Want to Know podcast. Thanks for rocking out with us. Peace.
Nothing like I've ever seen. It's just a thing of beauty.
Darn, that's the end.